Hey, I'm Jacy Worobec.
And I'm Clarissa Scheidl. We
We're
are the founders of Threeputt Golf Co.
As avid golfers, we could never find ladies' golf clothing that was comfortable and stylish.
So we decided to create our own brand that is fashionable, comfortable, and size inclusive up to 3X.
Each three-putt piece is uniquely ours. Check out our collection at threeputtgolfco.ca or visit our socials under Threeputt Golf Co.
And remember, three putts build character.
Hello and welcome to the Unexpected Journeys podcast. I'm your host, Stacey Comer. In this podcast, we talk to people with interesting stories about unexpected journeys that have happened in their lives. And I'm so excited to be joined today by Clarissa Scheidl and Jacy Worobec from Threeputt Golf Co. Thank you, ladies, for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
I want to start a little bit before we get into the whole story of Threeputt. I want you each to tell me just a little bit about yourselves, life before Threeputt. So, Clarissa, I'll start with you. Just tell me a little bit about your background.
Sure. I grew up in a small town in Alberta. I took my nursing after high school and I moved to Lloydminster, a nice little border city there. I was nursing there for about 5 years when I met my husband, and he convinced me to move into Saskatchewan with him. So I came out here. I was working as a perioperative nurse up until pretty recently. And then my husband and I decided to try on entrepreneurship, and we opened up a small business here in the Battlefronts. And so I gave up nursing for a little while, and I've been doing that. I've been running our business in North Battleford and been really enjoying it. And that's actually how I met Jacy, was through that as well. So.
Okay, and Jacy, tell me about your background before Threeputt happened. If Threeputt didn't exist today, what does a daily life look like for you?
Oh gosh. So I grew up small town Saskatchewan as well. And then I moved to the Battlefords about 10 years ago just to do high school and dance. I was a competitive dancer for 16 years out of my 18 years in school. So always busy doing that. And then after that, I moved to Medicine Hat to take criminal justice. And then COVID hit, so I had to leave school. So back home with mom and dad I went. And then I had met my husband and we ended up moving to Battleford together. And I'm in the sales industry, just kind of as like my regular 8 to 5 job. And I sell agriculture equipment out of all of the things in the world that I could sell. But yeah, if it wasn't for Threeputt, I'd probably just be doing that. And then I also recently took another job teaching dance this year. So got lots of things on the go.
If it weren't for Threeputt, she'd have more sleep and
Well, Clarissa, you mentioned that you guys met basically through your business, which is Birdie's Golf Lounge. So tell me about the story. I mean, how do you guys go from meeting and, oh, hey, I guess let's just create a clothing company? Like, how does that happen?
Well, she golfed in our women's golf league at Birdie's. And one night she was there with a friend doing her weekly league round. And it was kind of the end of the night. I think they were the last crew in there. And I just kind of went and sat on the couch and was yapping with them, 2 young girls kind of my age. And I mostly get to visit with a lot of men at my job. So I was kind of excited to go visit with a few girls. And I think we sat there for hours. Like, they were done golfing, birdies had closed, and we just sat there for hours. We were just laughing away and yapping. And
It's like 11:30, I think, by the time we got out.
it's like, "Hey, coming home." And then that was pretty close to the end of our season. Like, we're a seasonal business. We usually wrap up around April. And I was writing out thank you cards to league members, and I wrote her a little note. I said, hopefully we can do some golfing together this summer, because I liked her. And then we started spending lots of time golfing together, and the conversations about golfwear and entrepreneurship just kind of flowed from there.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge thing. Another thing like that we really, really clicked, I was always interested in the entrepreneurship because my biggest dream one day is to be my own boss.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of sparked another conversation down the road and kind of lit a fire under my butt, I guess, and that's where we ended up.
Well, you guys make it sound like it was just this easy thing that just happened, but obviously there's just a ton of work. Like, not either of you having backgrounds in clothing manufacturing or fashion. Like, how do you know where to start, or how did you know where to start, and how long did that take from starting to really knowing that this was going to be a good idea?
I guess one of our biggest things was like our branding. We kind of made like a Pinterest board of like a wish, I guess.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we called it Golf Girl Dreams. And just kind of went from there, and then you could tell we like started saving pins more often and started then talking about what kind of apparel we like what kind of styles and vibes that we liked in the golf world. um and then yeah, it just kind of like our main branding was one of our biggest concerns, because Claire says it the best way. Like, eventually we want to be in a lot of pro shops and the big pro shops, but we don't want to stick out like a sore thumb next to all of the super professional branding. Like, we want it to be very cohesive, very professional. How would you explain that?
Yeah, I guess just kind of able to hold our own in the golf world, where you could put our product next to an established household golf name, and yeah, like you said, we wouldn't stick out like a sore thumb, right? So
Yeah.
branding was our first big hurdle for sure. We wanted to do it right, so we hired a professional branding artist. Is that her title?
Graphic
Designer. And that's kind of when we're like, okay, well, this is happening, because it's quite an investment to have someone create all of that work for you, right? So that was probably the big first hurdle, and it took, like, we started late summer and we didn't finish till early spring this year with the branding. It was quite a process. We changed our mind a couple times, but we thought, do it right the first time. So that was definitely our first big hurdle, was just getting the good professional branding done.
And something that we were like super happy with too,
Mhm.
because our first vision, we had actually shared our Pinterest board with our graphic designer, and she kind of took like it was amazing, but she took all kind of the key points, the way that I would explain it, I guess everything opposite. So she would take more so the color palettes that we saved from like XYZ, but from that XYZ, we wanted the fonts from
Right.
that. So it was just kind of like a
communication a little bit on our end. But
Yeah.
we're just like, we would save something super ambiguous because we liked one small part of that photo, you
Yeah.
know? And then she would take a part of it that we didn't even actually care about, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, in her defense, we had probably hundreds of pins, so she's probably just like, oh God.
Oh man, and like it was so amazing. Like,
It was
she
beautiful.
was
Yeah.
so good and is so good at what she does. But it came to a point, we were at like our very last final mock-ups with her, and we were like, this is our brand, this is what it's gonna look like. And me and Claire just happened to be sitting at the couch where it all started at Birdie's. Going through, she made us kind of like how would you explain that?
Kind of like a carousel.
Yeah, like a carousel of, this is what your brand is going to look like. This is your logo, 1, 2, 3, whatever. And we were going through it, and I was like, Claire, do you actually like that?
Yeah.
I was like, are we like, we have to think long term too. I was like, are we just going to like this now because it's new and fun,
Right,
and like the idea of our company? Or are we okay with this long term? And the more that we talked about it, we went back to our original Pinterest board, and we were like, shit. Actually, we would like to go more of a retro route.
Yeah.
So we had to break the news to her, and I'm pretty sure the subject of the email said, please don't kill us, in all caps.
Our stomachs, like, that was a hard email to write. But
Yeah.
as she's producing all these things, we're so excited because it's beautiful work and it's exciting and it's ours and it has our name on it. So at first glance, we're like, yes, we love this, amazing. And then after you sit with it and digest it all, you're kind of like, wait a minute, it is amazing, but is this what we want, right?
Yeah.
So
That was a huge process. God bless her, man. She hung in there with us. She deserves the world. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I would take a bullet for that girl.
Well, what about the manufacturing side of things? And do you guys have a business coach, or are you doing like it just my mind can't wrap around how you guys just all of a sudden you just have this idea, get your graphic people, that's one thing, but to manufacture product and to have that, you got all your hats and the golf balls and then the clothing, like is even manufacturing, how do you source all that? And do you have a business coach, or is it just the two of you with big brains?
Just the two of us. I think we know each other really well. Like with Claire, she already had her business, so she's really good with keeping me in line and the numbers and our timelines and everything. And we just kind of went haywire just trying to research manufacturers, and we were up till like 2 or 3 in the morning some nights just sending each other manufacturers and possible ideas of what they had and if we could customize something like that, like along the lines. And it was a lot of long nights.
It's overwhelming. Trying to wholesalers. First, you kind of have to figure out the niche words of what you're searching, because you don't want just a blank bulk clothing supplier. That's not what we were looking for, right? Like we wanted someone who could cut and sew and manufacture our product to spec exactly what we wanted. So we kind of figured out the keywords of what we actually needed to Google and search to find pathways to people who did this type of work. And lots of late hours and
lots of sampling.
That's
one of our biggest, like, I don't want to say issues, but one of our biggest
learning curves.
Would be, I guess we're both very like meticulous on how our clothing feels and how we want it to hold up. And I don't think people understand the process of just getting a sample from these manufacturers. Like you can spend months on end trying to find what you think online is the perfect manufacturer, and you spend all this money to get one sample and you get it and it's nothing at all what it looks like or what you thought it would feel like online. Like there were so many instances that we were like, okay, yeah, we got it. Like, this is it. And we'd wait a month and a half for one sample to show up. And we're like, this is awful. Like, this is nothing like we wanted it. Like, we had originally planned, I think, to try and launch our brand like March.
Yeah.
And I think we're so new to it. So we trusted everything everybody says because we had no idea, right? So by the time we get these samples that we've been waiting and spending 3 months on something with the manufacturers for, hindsight, we probably could have been spending our time trying to find a different manufacturer in that time as well. Just as like a backup. Instead of us doing like, okay, we find one, we give them what we want, we wait 3 months for us to get it, we hate it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even when we loved it, but it still needed adjustments. And we don't want to drop thousands of dollars on hundreds of an item until we're certain, right? So even with a small adjustment, we want another sample, right? Yeah. And the price tag with that too, because they're charging you per sample. They're not charging you like your bulk pricing. And so you're paying more than you would ever pay for that piece in a store.
Right.
Plus the shipping costs and everything. So every sample we're like, oh gosh, here's more money. Yeah. Hopefully it's right this time, that kind of thing.
On like hopes and dreams. Yeah.
But it's good now because we have found our manufacturers and we're happy with the product, and now we know we trust them, so we can say, okay, same product, different color. And we don't have to do that process anymore.
Right.
Yeah. It'll save us a lot of money.
Well, and how did you guys decide what products to make? I mean, if you go into any golf store, there are tons of options, not just clothing, but bags and golf balls and tees and everything. So how did you guys narrow down what you wanted for your products?
I think we kind of just started out with what we felt we couldn't find, what we were missing. For example, there's lots of golf polos, but it's hard to find polos that don't have like loud, chaotic colors, weird patterns, sleeves that fit comfortably. And if the sleeves do fit comfortably, then it might be like a semi-cropped shirt that you can't tuck in properly and it lifts. So just whatever we felt we were missing, trying to fill that gap. And that's kind of how we started for our first products, and a few more we have in mind as well, but just kind of trying to figure out what wasn't there.
And we, like, with us too, like, we've been paying for everything ourselves, so it was kind of something else that just fit in our budget that was important to us, because it's all coming from us, and like, it's a lot. Like, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I'm not gonna lie. I was living on hopes and dreams, and then getting these bills, and I was like, oh shit! Like, I actually have to pay this.
Our husbands had no idea what they were getting.
No, we're so proud of you guys, and we're like, you're gonna be needing some overtime.
Yeah. Well, I noticed on your website it says that your pieces start with a blank page, not a pre-made wholesale garment, for a small business developing unique fabrics and fits from scratch. That is like so difficult. So, like, the fact that you guys take so much care for everything that you do, does that make the process even longer?
Yeah, 100%.
And it's funny, we should have had a little someone behind the scenes with the camera. Like, we'd be in my basement, and we'd have a sample, and I'd be, okay, Jacy, put it on, and I'd be pinning it with sewing pins and taking measurements, and okay, we don't like how that fits. How many inches do we need to take? I have no experience with that. That's not, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, but here I am, we're like, well, we'll just cinch you up and use a tape measure. We'll
remeasure it, and send it to the manufacturers. And our one manufacturer, God bless him, he's so good, but he was almost not arguing with us, but he's like, are you sure these are the measurements that you want? And I said, I spent like 3 days being like, yes,
reassuring him,
trust us on this,
we have a vision.
And he was finally just like, whatever.
You're paying.
Yeah. And it worked out, because it's
what we wanted.
Yeah, and it's one of our favorite pieces in the entire collection. And it's so crazy to think that, like, this is our very first collection. So there is still going to be things that we need to iron out and figure out. But for this being our very first go at it, like, I'm pretty proud of us.
At Threeputt Golf Co, we designed everything from the bottom up, so each piece is uniquely ours. We create golf apparel that looks good and moves with you. We are a Canadian company based out of Saskatchewan, and you can check out our full collection at threeputtgolfco.ca. You can also check out our social media handles at Threeputt Golf Co. Remember, 3 putts build character.
The clothing is size inclusive, which, especially for specific things like golf clothing, is really difficult to find. And some products will say size inclusive, and they'll do, a double XL, but you try it on and it feels like it's a large. So why was it so important that you guys did size inclusivity, but you also did it correctly?
I think with ours, like, it is like just kind of based off like what you said as well. Like, you can get an XL at a store and it fits like a medium, and we wanted everybody to feel comfortable. And one of our biggest things with our brand was it being functional as well, not just, oh, that's a cute shirt, but we wanted it to mean something as well. I think it was huge for us. And golf is huge now. Like, it's grown so much, even in just the last year or so. Like, there's so many more women golfing, which is amazing to see. But you hear these stories of women that are struggling to find things that fit. And we even had a really, really good talk with a lady last week, and she just kept saying, like, thank you guys for finally doing this. Like, she's embarrassed because she has to wear men's golf shirts because she goes to the women's section and nothing there fits. So it's kind of like a bunch of different things. But inclusivity was very important to us, I think, because we've all been there. Like, we're all women. We know what it's like to not be comfortable in something that you're wearing, or to be put in something that you're not comfortable in. So if you're going to enjoy doing a sport, why not enjoy what you're wearing as well?
Yeah, and the functionality piece too, like, even not being plus size, but still having parts of my body that I'm self-conscious about, or that I found golf apparel has accentuated those pieces. Or I've had moments on the course where I'm like, I don't want to be here. I can like just feel myself itching out of my skin, where I'm like, if what I'm wearing doesn't make me feel comfortable, I don't want to be there. And nobody should not want to play a sport because they don't feel comfortable in their clothing. It just seems like a no-brainer, right? And everybody plays, everybody golfs in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and the industry doesn't reflect that currently.
Lots of them will say that they're size inclusive, and you look at their website and it's only an XL, or a small to an XL. You're
like, well, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great that you guys definitely have taken that on too, because that is really a big thing for a lot of people who, like you said, they want to have fun, but then when you're self-conscious, obviously that makes it so difficult. And now you're at the point where, so you've got the different sizes, you've got the products. So the next part is the marketing of all of this. So how did you guys tackle that and look to get it out past, this communities around Saskatchewan, the North Battlefords, Lloydminsters, and get it onto a bigger stage? Or have you thought about that process yet?
That's part of, we've put thought into that. That's kind of like where we're at now. We've got the product launching, and that's something that's evolving and that we're working on currently, is now getting it pushed past. Social media is a huge tool and obviously needs to be utilized. So that's a big push of what we've been doing, is working on our social media presence. And we plan to, in the fall, reach out to golf courses across Canada and hopefully get our product in the pro shops as well. So we're going to do a big push there and do some road trips and put some boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Just old fashioned, get out there. And because, social media works for lots of online purchases and for young women, but a lot of the people who are doing the buying for the pro shops and that, they're, 65-year-old men who've worked on the course forever and don't care about my Instagram post. So we'll go put some boots on the ground and do a little bit of mix of both methods, I guess. Yeah.
And like, I'm very ADHD when I buy things. Like, I want to touch it and feel it and try it on. And I think that's pretty huge too for other people. Just with anything, like with us, we were going to go to the pro shops just with like our samples this year, but we're like, why? Like, it's a great idea, but if we don't have our physical product and something that we're happy with in hand, why would we want to go and knock doors down? And
that be our first introduction, kind of like a half-baked
idea.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really go to a golf course and then take you seriously if you're like, hey, I have this idea of maybe starting a women's golf brand. Would you want to have it in your pro shop? They would be like, there's the door.
Yeah. One of our samples that we are kind of happy with.
Yeah. It might look like this, it might not. Yeah. Like, they'd be like, thanks for stopping in. See you.
Yeah. So it's hard for us to wait like that. Like in the spring, when we're kind of like knowing we're missing that timeline to be in this summer, it's a hard piece of toast to chew.
Yeah.
It hurt us. We're like, we want to be there, but we knew we just had to wait, get the product launched, get a little bit of a following, have a proper catalog, and go in like with a full suit on. And
this is who we are. This is what we have.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. But
please.
It's all very tough, but
yeah. Well,
I'm not leaving until you let us have stuff in your room.
Well, you guys mentioned up to 2 and 3 in the morning sometime training ideas, and obviously you still have families, both of you, and so how important was it that you had the support from friends and family? And what type of a role did they play in it? Did you use some of them as models and to bounce ideas off as well? Or how important is it to have that support when you're going through something like this and you might be tired because you're working your regular job and then you're up, all hours doing this. And as you mentioned, maybe racking up the credit card bill. So how much does this support mean to you guys?
Support is huge. I mean, like, honestly, without our parents and our spouses and our families, I needed that kick for, like, even my mom to be like, just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And so I was like, yeah, honestly. But it is kind of crazy to think that you really kind of realize the support that is in your corner when you
Start putting yourself out there.
Create a business, and you're trying to create a life for yourself. And we've talked about it too. There's a lot of people that unfortunately they
disappoint you.
They really disappoint you. Yeah. When you're kind of in your highest peak and you're so excited about your new brand and your own company. Like, this is our company, and the people that you thought would be there are complete ghosts.
And it really stands out when you have people like your close family who are like biggest cheerleaders and hyping you up, sharing your posts. I told so-and-so about you, about this today, you know? So those people, they stand out so much, and then you're like so grateful for them. But then it also really shows the gap of like, oh, I kind of thought I'd have these people in my corner rooting me on, and they're kind of not. So it's something you don't really expect when you go through this as well.
Well, they'll come back around when you guys have your clothing line showed with somebody playing in the Masters or something, right? Then they'll all come back. Well, let's talk about the Threeputt name. So, you could have had some elite name that you attach to it, and instead you go for something that's a little bit more on the funny side, I guess, talking about Threeputt. So how did you come to that name, and why did you want to go with something on the lighter side?
Well, we wanted to do something along the lighter side, I think, because golf is intimidating. Like, I just got into golf in 2019, and I was so intimidated at first. Like, it's a gentleman's sport, and it has a lot of history and traditions attached to it, which are beautiful, and I hope it always keeps those. But that being said, the barrier to entry is a little bit visible in that way. And when you go on, you're like, oh, people know I haven't done this before. There's etiquette that I'm not sure of. There's all these sorts of things. And with such a big upkick of new golfers, especially female golfers coming up, we just wanted something that felt approachable and relatable,
yeah,
and kind of fun. And so that's kind of why we went that way instead of something a little more prestigious, I suppose.
And that kind of goes with our original branding too. Like, our original branding was very prestigious and very put together, whereas we're like, is that something that we want to not display, but
have a little more fun with it?
Yeah, like and once you get to know me and Claire, we're also a little bit
we're so not serious.
No. Not at all. So I think, like, to have a very prestigious and high class brand, we were like, that's so awesome, but can we wear that?
Yeah.
In the middle, like, have the class, have the good product, but be approachable and be fun, and kind of highlight the parts of golf that we find ourselves in. And
there's no shame in a Threeputt. Everyone has done it, and if you haven't,
you're lying. So we came up with the name.
We were on the course.
We were just like, okay, we're going to be mindful this round, because there's so many little sayings. There's so many little tidbits that happen throughout your round. And we're like, let's just pay attention to the things we're always saying, and we'll just kind of jot them down, kind of thing. And Threeputt is one of them. And, you always have people going, oh, I made a Threeputt or whatever. But we were going to go with 4-putt originally, because 3-putts, we're actually excited when we make the 3-putt half.
Now for 10. You're only even like on hole 2. We were at the kind of the bottom of the coulee, and I was like, 3-putt, 4-putt, and we were like, we actually ended up going with 3-putt. Well, because it's very relatable, but the more women's golf branding comes out, there's a lot of the word 4 in front.
Okay, right.
Like, it's very popular in that way, because it's a word that can be used kind of however you want it to be, right? Mm-hmm. So we really stuck with 3-putt because it was something different, and you don't see a lot of that branding at all. Yeah. So again, something that kind of helps us stick out, but not like
it's kind of got that mix of like, it's not cheesy, it's not overdone, it doesn't have any like cheesy, not to say 4 is cheesy, but it can be, when it gets to be a bit redundant. A lot of those sayings, you're like, okay, I've heard that a million times, right? So because we were going to do 4 putt, we're like, oh, we could do 4. And then we're kind of like, okay, overcooked. We don't need to go down that road.
Yeah.
Doing that. So it's clean, but it's also fun.
So what's it like for you ladies when you see people wearing your what you've designed, the hats, or they're using the golf towel on the course? Does it ever get old, or is it always cool every time?
It's the funniest thing, and I remember Claire actually texted me the one day because we're so proud of this brand, and once you get to know me and Claire, you're just like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But she texted me the one day, she's like, I just saw some guy in the grocery store wearing a Threeputt hat. I have no idea who he was. And I panicked and I ran away. I was like, what?
I have no idea that was me, but I'm just like, why do I feel embarrassed all of a sudden? I'm just like, well, I was wearing a big 3-putt sweater too, so I was like, I feel like, whoa.
I was like, why would you run away? She's like, I panicked. I don't know. We're not used to it yet. So when you see your product out in the wild, we like to call it, oh, it's out in the wild. It's pretty special.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really expect it to, I don't want to say take off, but it
has. Yeah.
It has, yeah, especially in our small town. And our smaller businesses around here too were huge for our first hat launch. Like we had Aurora Boutique, and then Jackfish Lodge had really helped us out try and get our product. Even just like a couple hats into their pro shop to help us get our name out. And then Homebody at Home Hardware Lloydminster was also amazing with us. Like and
then above and beyond, like we were just proposing and they purchased some hats to sell, and they're like, as soon as you get the rest, come do a pop-up, come bring a table, get your name out. Like, we'll help you. That kind of support is huge, right?
Yeah.
So.
And there wasn't a lot, the stores that you think would want to help you out are the last ones that want to. And that's another thing that we've learned pretty early with starting out of a small company is
don't write people off, because support comes from the strangest places, and don't put all your eggs in the places you're assuming you're going to get it, because you might not.
Yeah.
But
trial and error.
Yeah, it's all learning. Even I'll have family now sending me pictures of like people wearing our product and out in the wild somewhere.
In the wild.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're like, that's funny.
It's like seeing your children doing well at track and field or something, right?
That's fun.
Yeah.
That was.
You like it too.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that you guys had as a tag on your launch day was we're just getting started. So can you give us a sneak peek at some of the things coming up? Just talk about some of the new products you might be working on, or is that all top secret for now?
Well, I think the goal overall is to just become like a one-stop shop. So you can shop at Threeputt and everything that you need in the golf world will be there. You don't have to source out from different places. So eventually we would like to have kind of everything under the golf umbrella encompassed. But our next drop we're bringing in some raincoats and some more outdoor apparel there. And then we're looking into getting into the gloves and the golf balls here shortly as well. So those are kind of our next few items that they should be here sooner rather than later. So we can share those for now, for sure.
Well, if people are looking to find you on socials and the website, what do they search for? Just search for the Threeputt Golf Co, or what's the best way, I guess, to find everything in one place?
Instagram, I think. Honestly, like our Instagram or our Facebook page is pretty huge, just for marketing wise and trying to get a hold of us. Our TikToks, they're pretty funny. So if you come across them,
don't look at it.
Yeah.
And then all of our product is available on our website. It's just threeputtgolfco.ca. So you can check on there and sign up for newsletters as well, so we can let you know when we have more product launching and stuff like that.
Well, you guys have done an amazing thing. I just can't even imagine what it takes to start with just a chat at Birdie's Golf Lounge to now having a fashion line of ladies' clothing, and then who knows where you go from here. So congratulations on that. Every time I see, your social media posts, it's like we're leveling up and something new is happening. So I don't doubt that there'll be no sleep in your future for a while, but you guys have done an amazing job and you should give yourselves a golf clap. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And this has definitely been an unexpected journey for both of you, I think, but it's turned out to be awesome. So we look forward, maybe we'll chat in, a few months down the road and see where you're at once again. And we can talk about all the famous people and famous golfers who are wearing your apparel.
That's great. I look forward.
Unexpected Journeys is produced and hosted by me, Stacy Comer. Executive producer is Sean Lannon. Podcast and host representation is Lemmon Entertainment. Thank you to our episode sponsor, Threeputt Golf Co. You can find us on all social media and podcast sites under the name Unexpected Journeys. Please like and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. We appreciate any and all feedback, and if you are interested in being a guest on the Unexpected Journeys podcast, you can email us at unexpectedjourneyspod@gmail.com. For sponsorship inquiries, send a message to Jessica@lemmonent.com. That's lemon with 2 M's. Thank you so much for listening.